Hey guys, EDDBUD here, back again today talking about the sad cancellation or at least postponement of the London Marathon till next year. But we do get the Kipchoge versus Bekele face-off. Everybody was really excited about that, hoping that it might still happen, and it looks like it's going to. So now only the wheelchair athletes, along with the elite women and men, will take part in a London Marathon this coming October. It's going to be a new course based in St James's Park in London. I think they're blocking off at least part of the park, and there'll be a specific lapped route that the elite runners will take on. I think we all probably in our heart of hearts knew that this was in all likelihood what would happen, but I think at least it ensures that participants can at least plan ahead now, they know where they stand. So it does appear that the BBC will broadcast extensive coverage of this event over the course of the day. I think they're talking about 8 hours worth of running coverage. We have an intruder. Mildred is here. Hello. How are you doing? Normally it's Beast. Where is Beast? Nice to see you, Mildred. I think all eyes will be on those speed kings, Kipchoge from Kenya and Bekele from Ethiopia. They're yet to unveil a full list of participants. I think that's going to be later on in August, so we'll get to see who else is going to take part. I believe Bridget Kosgei is going to be there in terms of the women's elite runners. I think this is the only EDDBUD World Marathon Major that's going to be running over that time period. So as such, they have confirmed it will be an Olympic qualifying event. I think only a specific section of the park is going to be used. And they're going to block off perhaps one of the exits, but there'll be no spectator facilities or anything like that. It's a non-spectator event. So everybody stay safe and make sure you're watching it at home. I guess if you really wanted the true vibe of the event, you could get a family member to blow coarse sea salt in your face and then slap running shoes on the floor rhythmically. This will imitate the sounds and the smells of this epic event. Works a treat. So on Sunday the 4th of October we're in for that long awaited clash between Kipchoge and Bekele. A matchup between those fan favourites. I think everyone's got their favourite. I like them both, I think they're awesome. Who'll be in the best shape for such a midsole foam rumble? Who's been wearing down that outsole rubber the most? And also who's mentally survived the lockdown doldrums the best? It got me thinking, which shoes will those two epic runners utilise for this special challenge? This is the 40th London Marathon race, so it's very, very special. It's surely got to be one of these two, right? Apparently this is going to be a looped course, 19.8 loops of that specific St James's Park area. I hope they can keep track. That might be the toughest thing. I think it is going to finish in the proper area that the London Marathon always finishes though, on the Mall, that famous section where they come around the corner. Etched in my mind from watching it since I was a little lad. Though with the additional turns of a looped course, will that affect perhaps the footwear choices? Will Kipchoge surprise us and turn up wearing a well-worn pair of Reebok Float Ride Energy 2s just to troll us all? Wouldn't that be awesome if he just rocked up in those? And he's like, I can still toast all of you in these. The organiser of the event, Hugh Brasher, has confirmed though that he does believe this course that they're going to use in St James's Park is much faster than the typical London Marathon course. By the sounds of it, it's looking like they're going to use some virtual technologies to supply some crowd interaction, perhaps using screens or displays along the course perhaps. I know that's a really big part of any sort of marathon race, especially if some of the top elite people are going to be perhaps going for a world record. That might not be the case this time, but certainly they'll be wanting to really push things and get the best performance out of themselves that they can. I think having the crowd there makes a massive difference to that. Provide some impetus and some support as they progress through the laps. Don't think I'm expecting this course as fast as the Ineos Challenge. I mean, that was literally straight. I think there were only 4 loop backs or something like that. But I think we could be in for some really dynamite times in this awesome matchup. So is it going to be the Alphafly Next percent or the Vaporfly Next percent? What will these two legends choose to opt for come October? I threw on my Hakone version of the Vaporfly Next percent for a very hot and humid run yesterday night. It was late miles, running alone, didn't see a soul for about 8 miles I think it was, just no one around. I think I probably saw more wildlife than anything. Just reminded me just how light and just how cushioned these shoes are. Everybody's talking about the Alphafly Next percent, but these are ridiculously light in comparison. In my size 11, which is a US size 12, apples for apples, the Vaporfly Next percent is 35 grams lighter. So times that by 2, 70 grams, that's a lot of extra weight to be carrying around. Did make me wonder whether perhaps they'll opt for the lighter option this time round. Small details and subtleties between the shoes will undoubtedly be looked at by these two runners to shave off a few seconds here and there. Does the boost of the Air Zoom pods provide enough of an advantage to consider wearing those over the lighter Vaporfly Next percent? I'd so love to see the decisions, how they're made by these runners as to what they'll wear. Is it purely down to sponsorship? I can't believe that. Surely some people will run better in one shoe than another. I mean, Bekele was within a couple of seconds last year in the Berlin Marathon of beating Kipchoge's world record. If he was wearing the Alphaflys then, would he have been able to beat that? I don't know. Can you imagine being so agonisingly close to that? Like 2 seconds. That's the fine margins that we're looking at here. Of course, Bekele was wearing the Vaporfly Next percent in that race. We all know that Kipchoge used the unicorn-like Alphafly Next percent in the Ineos Challenge back in October, finally hitting that sub 2 hour marathon time. Those shoes blasted him to a 1 hour, 59 minutes and 40 seconds time over that challenge. Obviously not a world record because it was a challenge-based event, though we must consider that both of those events I've just talked about, the Ineos Challenge and the Berlin Marathon, will both be over a year in the past when we do get to October. There's so little in it between these two runners. Bekele is very slightly older than Kipchoge, a little bit more experienced perhaps, but they both seem to be right at the pinnacle of fitness. Will not being able to train on a regular basis with their typical teams have a big effect on their performance. Some of those long runs are very much team events where everybody gets out and they're supporting each other over the miles. My hunch is that Kipchoge will probably air with the Alphafly Next percent for this race. He knows that shoe from the Ineos Challenge, he's probably been training in it, and also he was part of the whole design process where they gave him lots and lots of prototypes of it to test out. So he'll be very familiar with it in a race type situation. I think Bekele may well stick with the tried and tested Vaporfly Next percent. He knows that he can produce the goods while wearing this shoe. No one's been able to race in any new shoes recently, so putting the Alphaflys on and racing at that sort of tempo over that type of distance, he hasn't done yet, but he knows this shoe can work for him. Perhaps having that experience in this shoe might give him a little bit more confidence in the fact he knows that using it he can produce the goods. Those are just my gut feelings though. I'm very interested, you, the viewers, as to what you think will happen. Do you think Bekele will go with the Alphafly? Do you think Kipchoge might surprise us all with something brand new? I'm sure Nike are thinking about it. Some brand new version of the Alphafly. Could happen. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm also going to run a poll over on the community section of the YouTube channel, so do go over and check that out and cast your votes. Time for a musical interlude. Whenever the temperatures heat up around summertime, I always seem to dig out this ace album from the Webb Brothers. I think they only did a couple of albums. This one's called Marooned. There's some great tracks on here. I Can't Believe You're Gone is stomping stuff, and I really love the awesome up vibes of Summer People. The Webb Brothers are the sons of Jimmy Webb. You'll know him for writing all sorts of very famous songs. If you're able to find it, it was released about 20 years ago, and it's quite tough to find actually, but do check it out, Marooned by the Webb Brothers. That's all for today guys, thanks for watching through to the very end of the video. If you haven't done already, it would be fantastic if you hit that subscribe button and click the bell below for notifications of when new videos are launched. It helps the channel out a huge amount as well if you give this video a thumbs up like and share it with your running buddies. My name's EDDBUD and I'll be seeing you